What made you join Reddit? I have been browsing Reddit for 6 years but did not make an account until this month. I like that you are anonymous and can get unrestricted opinions, good or bad. For instance, I made a throwaway and asked the pre-med and bioengineering subreddits for career and resume advice, and I got honest opinions from experts in the field on ways to improve. These opinions were not filtered because they did not know me. It was really useful tbh. Some even reached out to me in chat to give me advice on job hunting. One hiring manager even told me which companies to apply to. There were things in my life that I really needed help with that I felt like I couldn't talk about with anyone that I knew well. I was struggling with a pretty unhealthy relationship and I was embarrassed to tell my friends and family what was going on. It was easier to talk about it with strangers, also just for really niche interests. There's literally no other place on the internet to talk about betta fish. Join Reddit. I don't follow. I was born here and I will die here. No one joins the collective of Reddit. We are all one with it. We are Reddit. We were all born onto Reddit and we will all be consumed by its all-knowing power in the end days of the internet. You ask, what made you join Reddit? I say this, Reddit made you, me, all of us. So the question should be this, what made Reddit make you? I kept getting 30-day bans on Facebook for bullying by saying things such as quit acting like a twat and okay baldy. I also only use Facebook for marketplace and groups anyway, and groups are pretty similar to subreddits in a way that, as another commenter put it, is more like following subjects than people. Buddy of mine was telling me about it and showing me the site. He decides to pick a random link. It was about someone who found a USB in Hawaii of someone's wedding and was trying to get the USB to the correct people. The op uploaded pictures from the USB to try and locate who the owner could possibly be. About 3 or 4 pictures into the post, as he's scrolling, I yell, "Whoa, stop." A high school buddy who we used to hang out with was in the pictures. I was sold at that point. Social media has personal accountability and judgment. I wouldn't be happy exploring my opinions freely in that realm. I considered more anonymous scenes like 4chan, but their system isn't set up for discussions. You aren't alerted when someone replies to your messages. You can't even track or see your own historical posts. Reddit is adequately anonymous, while also sufficiently accountable for someone to explore views and discuss on an open platform. I realized seeing other people's lives was unhealthy for me. They tell you not to compare yourself to others, but it's easier said than done. I was heavy on FB before Reddit, and I joined out of curiosity. When I realized how much happier I was looking at the memes rather than seeing what's going on in my friends' and other strangers' lives or some long-winded political rant, I've never touched FB ever again and I don't regret it one bit. Reddit is great because of the anonymity, so you, generally, don't see people's shallow attempts at trying to impress others with what's going on in their lives. It's just a lot of stupid memes, a bunch of porn here and there. Okay, maybe a lot, and on the rare occasion, genuinely good posts that make you feel things or make you think. What places Reddit far above the rest, for me, is the subreddit system, which is at the heart of the website. You don't get his sense of community in any of the big social media platforms. Every sub has its own culture, personality, history and drama. You can pretty much find a subreddit for everything and anything of interest, no matter how niche. And if you don't find a sub, well, you can always make one. You might surprise yourself with how many people share your interests. This focus on concepts, topics, and interests rather than individual people is why I love Reddit. Every other big social media platform is always a pissing contest, a dick-tit measuring contest, some political propaganda campaign, or a mixture of these. That isn't to say Reddit doesn't have its flaws. but it has the least toxic, damaging flaws out there. It's the least shitty place on the social media landscape, and that's why I'm here. I joined because it's the best place for niche communities. I'm personally an Epic Mickey fan, and the fact that I can easily talk about something as niche as that with others who share that same passion is really great, and it's difficult to find that sort of interactivity anywhere else, and because of that, I've talked with some pretty cool people. That said, I do find it's almost cultish following kinda deterring. I haven't used it for that long, and I've already seen a large number of people that give this platform way too much praise for it not being like other social media, which I strongly disagree with. In general, there just seems to be an underlying arrogance. However, I do think, like with most social media I've used, the pros outweigh the cons. I wanted to join our Coachella to see if I could find enough humans to crowdsurf my wife in her wheelchair during Lady Gaga. The surf did not happen, but on the last night we did experience an awesome moment. We had tripped that day, and at the end of the night we were hungry and were trying to get across the river of people exiting the fields so we could get some pizza. Someone stopped and asked where we were trying to get to. I pointed to the pizza spot. He put his arm out and yelled, and then the next person put their arm out, and the next, and so on. And the sea of people parted so I could wheel my wife across, with tears rolling down my face. Anonymity. I deleted my FB and Insta accounts a long time ago. It occurred to me they were doing absolutely no good in my life. I am old enough to remember life before social media, and that's what this feels like. It's great. I may not be as socially glued as most people, but man, is life a lot simpler. I basically treat Reddit as my news source for my interests. Back in the day you had to subscribe to magazines. I will say Reddit can be toxic too, but the longer you're here, the better you become at customizing your experience. I joined specifically for our homebrewing because I was getting into brewing beer and ended up on that sub more often than not while looking for info. Made an account so I could post my own questions, and it remains one of the most friendly, helpful subs I'm a part of. For nearly the first year, our homebrewing was the only thing I used Reddit for at all. TBH, cat pictures and some good questions on our AskReddit showing up in my popular feed were probably what caused me to branch out. Being anonymous. Now that doesn't give you an express right to be an asshole, but it is exactly what differentiates Reddit from other so-called social media, and that includes LinkedIn too. You don't have to be interactive enough to be noticed, like that Black Mirror episode where people were so desperate to be in someone's eyes. Honestly, I find Reddit more peaceful and informative and somewhat consoling too than Facebook, Instagram, etc. I had an incident on PUBG. It's an online shoot 'em up that has a rather hardcore following. I killed a teammate, and next thing I knew there was a Facebook post about it went viral. Thousands of people commenting on it. Then my PM got fucking swarmed with hate mail. Once I started reading the comments, there was around 50 people in America trying to hack into my Xbox/profile/IP address and whatever the fuck else these basement dwellers like to do. Ended up turning my internet off for a month just to be safe. I've never given my real details out for anything online since. I used to like scrolling through 9gag to look at memes and stuff, but over time I came to really resent the growing bigotry and aggression over there. I told a friend about this and that I was looking for another source of memes. He showed me Reddit and said that it's generally a better place because the communities have rules and mods that enforce them. Although you obviously have to choose your subs carefully. I understand that even Reddit isn't free from bigots. I got the app and joined a couple of interesting subs, and now I enjoy being part of community where I can exchange ideas and get advice without having to disclose my name and where I am from. I'm a more private person and don't enjoy sharing every detail of my life. so it's nice having this place where I'm anonymous and can still be a part of a community. Several years back there was a website that had some Morse code, and was supposedly part of an R puzzle leading up to the release of a new Fallout game. Ultimately it wound up being a hoax, but in the moment it was real enough. I'd heard about this website from a podcast, and when I checked it out, I noticed the sequence was different from what had been described in the podcast. I used a Morse code translator to decipher the message, and then Googled around for Morse code shorthand to translate it to plainish English. It felt like a huge discovery, and I wanted to share it with people who would care. I lurked on Reddit for a while but never felt strongly enough to make an account to post or comment from. This was worth the effort though. I made an account and shared my findings with the Fallout subreddit. A fair number of folks were skeptical of me, given my account was brand new. Some speculated that I was actually the guy running the website, and I'd gotten sick of waiting for people to notice the change. I'd like to take this opportunity to confirm once and for all that I am just a normal guy and not part of a deep Bethesda conspiracy. I saw a news headline about Obama doing an AM8 on Reddit, and was curious what the hell that even meant. The joke was that Obama probably got stuck looking at cat videos and going down rabbit holes. I checked it out and got stuck watching cat videos and going down rabbit holes. But seriously, I stay for the comments. Thank you everyone for the entertainment, and the anger, and the knowledge, and the disappointment, and the hope. You are an emotionally well-rounded roller coaster. I started my sort of stoner internet entity on Twitter, with the weird things my stoned brain comes up with, but since not a lot of people either follow me there or don't reply or something, I tried Reddit, and many people are responding. When I'm baked I fucking love talking to strangers. I get really chatty, and here people are actually replying. So I've since become more a Redditor than pretty much any other social media platform. I'm also on YouTube, but mostly for dumb GTA videos and still on Twitter for random thoughts that come to me while my brain's being doused with THC. But also one thing is increasing my chances of being in one of those AskReddit videos. Lol, I hope to one day see myself in one of those. I have already been on one of those, either cheeseburger or Mombase or what have you compilations of those Reddit answers, and I was like, that's me. 8 piece. Shower and pack another bowl maybe, probably. Was a user of Dig on my phone back when I was 14. I followed Reddit's top posts and was in awe of the pure wit and intelligence on display in the comments, English being my non-native language. Well, in comparison to what I had going on at Facebook and Twitter at the time. Lurked for a year and created my first account at 15 and realized what a shit show it can get sometimes. At least I get to choose what pops up on my feed, and the aspect of anonymity, I guess. I felt incredibly lonely during the lockdowns in my country. Just moved to a new city, and didn't even know anyone near me to go for a walk with. I followed a few subreddits for hobbies I picked up, and it helped me feel a little less alone. Plus it's a great place to learn about new things and go down research rabbit holes rather than waste hours on Facebook. My artwork got shared quite a few times on the art subreddit, and I thought it would be nice to join and clear up any of the misconceptions people kept making about it in the comments. Of course, once I joined, nobody shared my art here anymore, and I barely do it anymore now anyway, so I guess I was too late. But I stayed because there's so many interesting topics and content here, and I can count on having an intelligent conversation with someone on Reddit far more than I can expect to on any other social platform. When I was younger I was all about iFunny, which stole content from Reddit. and eventually Facebook kept sucking me in with those 22 times people fight back against entitled people or similar. Eventually I figured why give them my money to click through a million pages, at the time especially, and instead go straight to the source. Sometimes I still fall for those lists admittedly, but I don't as much anymore, or I'll go to the Reddit thread it refers to. Doctor, all of the content I was looking at was already stolen from Reddit, so at that point I should join. I was just bored one day and decided why not. Instagram these days is filled with ads and meme pages and fake ads. Facebook, no games like back in the day, so nothing interesting. Snapchat, haven't used that SHT in months. Tumblr, not a user. Twitter is Reddit, but a downgrade demo. In Reddit, nothing changes. People are random and funny. There are so many subjects to follow and fit into. People can be jerks, but hey, ignore them. Reddit is a place you will fit in the most depending on the subreddits you follow. I deleted all of my social media because it just felt toxic and self-absorbed. Of course this isn't the case for everyone, but I just recognized that it didn't feel like a good influence for me personally, and figured that if I followed the right subs, for example relating to my interests such as painting, literature etc., then Reddit could be a good substitute. It also feels a lot more authentic here. You're not getting all the generic rape like look at how perfect my life is so often. I think this is where the anonymity works wonders because people don't have the same focus on self-image like they might do otherwise. Accidentally looking for something, answer was on Reddit. Continue in browser or download app. Fucking stupid thumb clicked app by accident. It had the option one hundreds of times before, but fuck social media. Then thought fuck it might be easier than in the browser, and it's not Facebook or Twitter and the court of public opinion, more like an old school forum board type shit. It has more in common with 4chan than it likes to admit than Facebook and shitter and been trolling ever since. Hate Facebook and at the same time felt like I was spending way too much time on Facebook, for all the negative shit Redditors say about Reddit. It's so much more informative and less toxic than 99% of Facebook. So if you still want some degree of social law being engaged with communities of similar interest, etc., Reddit is a massive upgrade from seeing some of that plus racist family members saying dumb shit all the time. I wanted an anonymous place I could share my experience of sexual abuse and get it off my chest, somewhere where people would read it, and someone was bound to understand, and the only people who would judge me would be strangers. It felt so good to finally let it all out, even to a bunch of strangers. It literally changed my life. It was only 2 months ago, but already my life is completely different because of it. Then I found some subs for my hobbies and interests, so decided to stick around. I was at a really low point in my life and wanted to try and quit drinking again for the umpteenth time. I was mortified to try AA, and also COVID, so all the meetings were online. How I even found it, but I joined Reddit so I could post on r. Stop drinking. I shed on Reddit for the last 10 years thinking it was a waste of space exclusively for the worst kind of the Rick and Morty fanbase. Lol. Blew my mind that something like SD could be on Reddit. I can't believe it's almost been a year. Having that community for support was what I had been missing in all my attempts to quit prior. We were issued laptops sophomore year in high school, and naturally people weren't using them for academic purposes during class. One day, my lit teacher said something like, "I know it's tempting to play Halo or browse Reddit during class, and I get it, Reddit has some interesting stuff on there, but you can do that in your free time." Reddit wasn't blocked on the laptops, so right after she said that, I checked it out. Neat stuff. for like the whole of middle school and first year of high school. My dad refused to get me a smartphone, so I never had the opportunity to really get into social media. My friends were always showing me memes from Reddit, and I would hear like YouTubers yell all about it all the time, so it was like one of the first things I downloaded when I finally was able to say fuck you to my dad and bought my own phone.